This is Bob Barr with Liberty Guard, reminding you that, consistent with Bob Barr's laws of the universe, law number 1, the world is full of idiots. Stay tuned, please, and watch this next exciting episode of the best of Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, Idiots of the Week. And as always, visit our website and our YouTube channel, that is libertyguard.org, in order to find out what's going on in the world out there and arm yourselves to deal with all of those idiots. Thank you for being with us. Please, though, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to follow Liberty Guard on social media. The idiot today, which illustrates that the world is indeed full of idiots, is San Francisco. Now, I know you'll say, Barr, that's no surprise, and really it isn't. But what brings San Francisco to the table today as the idiot of the week is how it deals with cannabis or marijuana. Now, cannabis has been legal in California for, I think, since 2016 or so. That's fine. The citizens voted to make it a legal substance, and that's fine. But of course, what has the government done? How has the government in California and state and local governments dealt with this? Well, they deal with it the way they deal with everything. They view it as a revenue source. So because marijuana, like tobacco and alcohol, is always a prime target for so-called sin taxes, taxes on those things that people like to do, government always goes to those activities first in order to gain revenue. Now, of course, when a product such as cannabis or tobacco or alcohol can be manufactured and or sold on the black market, what's going to happen? Well, the black market, like the real market, dictates that people will be able to buy those products on the black market and avoid all of those taxes, which in the case of California are ridiculously high. I mean, I was just reading here that cannabis taxes in California can run for a business, that is a licensed cannabis business, up to 45%. In other words, I don't know how they measure marijuana, but say that ounce of marijuana that would cost $50 would actually cost, say, $75 or so after all of these taxes. You have an excise tax, you have a state tax, you have a local tax, which very quickly ratchets up the cost to the consumer, to the buyer of that amount of marijuana, far beyond that which they would pay on the black market. Now, this doesn't or shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody that has even a basic understanding of not only the real world and the market out there, but also how humans operate. If a human wants a product and they can get it from individual A for $10, but individual B charges them $15, well, they're going to go to the individual A. Well, when the individual B, that is the entity that is charging far more, is the government, people will go around that. Well, that's what's happened with the cannabis market in California and in San Francisco in particular. So what San Francisco has done, in its tremendous wisdom that we see reflected in all manner of public policies in San Francisco, which has made the city, very, very different in a negative way from what it used to be just a few years ago. The city has decided, well, we have all of these taxes, and yet we have a black market for cannabis. The retailers are mad at us. They're mad at the city for this city tax now. And the retailers are threatening a boycott of the taxes. In other words, they're saying, well, we'll collect the taxes, but we're not going to give them to San Francisco because we're being harmed so badly. This is just typical of California. They get themselves all balled up in something because, one, they have no idea what they're doing. And secondly, everything seems to be driven, at least for government decisions out there, by money. So this tax on cannabis by San Francisco has come back to bite San Francisco, where it doesn't want to be bitten, wherever that is. And San Francisco, that is, has decided to suspend the cannabis tax for the time being. Doesn't solve any of the problem, but they've sort of pushed it down the table, kicked the can down the road, kicked the tote down the road, I guess you could say. It'll come back. But it's just a typical example of the idiocy of government in its unrelenting drive to tax everything, and particularly those things that people enjoy doing. Apparently in San Francisco, that is smoking marijuana. So that's kind of a interesting, but not surprising Idiot of the Week coming to us from San Francisco. We appreciate your being with us today and look forward to your being with us next time for yet another Idiot of the Week. Thank you for being with us. This is Bob Barr, and I'd like to thank you for having checked out our program here today, Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. We appreciate your support, your participation, and encourage you to go to libertyguard.org to learn more about our programs and also to help support to further individual freedom and fight against government abuse. One of the ways, but not the only way we do this, is through Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, but through many, many other programs in support of individual liberty and against government abuse. So please remember to join us. Go to libertyguard.org and join us once again for Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. Thank you. You're not going out of your mind. You're slowly and systemically being driven out of your mind. This is gaslighting, and it is precisely what the left is doing to America. It's not a movie. It's real. It's happening right now, and it's dangerous. If the left is permitted to continue, it will irreparably undermine our history, our values, and our culture. Right now, the Biden administration and Democrat leaders in the Congress, aided of course by Hollywood and the mainstream media, are using every trick in the book to institutionalize their radical agenda to destroy America as we know it and replace it with a European-style socialist society. They are gaslighting America.
From the desk of former Congressman Bob Barr comes a special report titled Gaslighting America. In this book, Bob Barr tackles the left's war on truth, exposing the ways they are rewriting history, manipulating the news, and changing the very definition of words. Help protect the soul of our nation. Order today.